Baron Trump stepped out of the sleek black SUV, the cold morning rain immediately assaulting him. His tall frame, cloaked in a tailored overcoat and a striking red tie, seemed almost out of place against the grey skies and relentless drizzle. The shimmering corporate headquarters of one of New York's top firms stood before him, a towering symbol of prestige and power. But for Baron, this day wasn't about power, it was about purpose. The weight of expectation and the burden of his name felt heavier with each step. What he didn't know was that his resolve would soon be tested in ways he never imagined. As Baron approached the building's glass doors, a security guard stepped forward, blocking his path with a firm hand. "Do you have an appointment?" The guard barked, his voice gruff. Baron, unfazed, nodded politely and replied, "I believe my name is on the list." Baron Trump. The guard's expression remained unchanged. Instead, he shook his head and said, "I don't see your name. You'll have to step aside." The whispers began immediately. Onlookers, tucked under their umbrellas, watched intently, some snickering. "Is he really being turned away?" someone murmured. Would Baron wield his last name as a weapon? Would he demand respect? Instead, Baron offered a faint smile, stepped back and waited. It wasn't just a test of patience, it was a test of character. The drizzle soon turned into a relentless downpour, soaking Baron's coat and dripping from his umbrella. Hours passed. He stood in silence, his phone buzzing uselessly in his pocket as every attempt to contact the meeting organizers went unanswered. The rain seemed almost symbolic, washing away the veneer of privilege others assumed protected him. Social media began to buzz as passers-by snapped photos of the soaked Trump heir standing alone. Baron Trump denied entry, the headlines screamed, yet he didn't leave. This wasn't about his name or privilege, it was about the cause he was fighting for, raising funds for underprivileged students. Judgment weighed heavily in the air. "Isn't that Trump's kid?" a woman whispered to her friend. "Looks like he's finally getting a taste of reality," the friend jeered. Baron heard every word, each one a dagger, yet he stood his ground. Amid the cold rain and harsh whispers, a small boy in a bright red raincoat approached Baron. In his tiny hands, he held a freshly baked pretzel. "Here," the boy said shyly, his voice barely audible over the rain. "You look hungry." Baron crouched to the boy's level, his soaked coat brushing against the wet pavement. For a moment, the harshness of the world around him faded. "Thank you," he said warmly, taking the pretzel. "What's your name?" "Liam," the boy replied, his eyes bright with innocence. Baron smiled, a rare, genuine smile. "You have a good heart, Liam," he said. That fleeting moment of kindness, though small, ignited a flicker of hope in Baron. It reminded him that even in the darkest storms, there were beacons of light. Hours later, an assistant from the firm finally emerged. Her sharp tone cut through the rain like a knife. "You're still here?" Baron nodded, raindrops clinging to his hair. "I'm waiting for the charity meeting," he replied, his voice calm but firm. She hesitated, glancing around nervously before leaning in and whispering, "Some people didn't want you here. They thought your name would overshadow the cause." Her words felt heavier than the rain. This wasn't about protocol, it was prejudice. Baron took a deep breath, his disappointment clear but controlled. "Thank you for letting me know," he said simply. There was no anger in his voice, only resolve. Action, not anger, would define his response. Finally, he was allowed inside. The warmth of the lobby was a stark contrast to the cold he had endured, but the glances he received from the staff were no less icy. The murmurs continued as he made his way to the conference room. "Of course, he's here for the publicity," someone muttered under their breath. Baron ignored the comments. Taking the podium, he adjusted the microphone and addressed the room with steady confidence. Education should be accessible to everyone, no matter where they come from. He spoke of his own privileges, the responsibility that came with them, and the students he hoped to help. His voice carried sincerity, but the room's response was lukewarm. The applause was polite, not enthusiastic. Yet Baron wasn't there for applause, he was there to make a difference. During a break, Baron noticed a young volunteer struggling with a stack of boxes. Without hesitation, he stepped forward, still wearing his damp overcoat and red tie, and helped her. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with surprise. "I didn't think someone like you would." She trailed off, embarrassed. Baron smiled, setting the boxes down carefully. "Someone like me?" he asked, his tone light but thoughtful. "People expect a lot of things," he added, "but I'm just here to help." Her smile in return was genuine, a small but significant reminder of why he had come. Actions, he knew, would always speak louder than words. News of Baron's significant donation to the scholarship fund spread quickly. As expected, the criticism followed, throwing money at the problem. One headline read, "Trying to buy respect," another claimed. But amidst the noise, stories of the students whose lives had been changed by the scholarships began to emerge. Their gratitude was real, their futures brighter. Weeks later, a letter arrived for Baron. It was from Liam, the boy with the pretzel. "Thank you for helping kids like me," it read. "I got one of the scholarships, and now I can go to school." Tears welled in Baron's eyes as he folded the letter carefully. All the judgment, the insults, the struggles, they were worth it for moments like this. Standing at a podium once more, this time before a room filled filled with hopeful students, Barron's voice carried the weight of his journey. "You are the future," he said, his tone unwavering, "and I'm honored to support you." The applause that followed was thunderous, but Barron didn't seek it. His purpose was clear. Leadership wasn't about power or recognition. It was about compassion and persistence. Barron Trump's story is a testament to resilience, humility, and the enduring power of kindness. When the storms come, will you stand firm? If this story moved you, like, comment, and share to celebrate the impact of compassion. Together, let's inspire change.